And welcome, viewers, to the Daily Space Weather. Smash here, coming at you from the Smash News Network, least busted name of news, and thanks for tuning in to the most detailed space weather in the known universe. Also the most detailed imagery of the closest star you'll see anywhere. Thanks for joining us as we shine some light onto some facts. This is a classic composite wavelength. We'll be showing you almost entirely composite views today of the sun. This is ionized helium plus iron, 304 plus 171 angstroms. Let's replace that 304 angstroms with 335 angstroms to show some different features. That is the last 24 hours from the perspective of SDO. And let's go around the horn. We've got some interesting filaments in the northwest. Some activity setting. And some filaments in the southwest. What about the southeast, you ask? Well, there are two new sunspot groups in the southeast as well, as shown by these bright regions. And of course, the most interesting spot is the northeast, as we've got another likely sunspot rising here probably later today. It's very close to coming into view. It may be in view by the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. And let's see what's going on. A little bit closer to home here. It's our volcano rundown. Stromboli has produced a new lava flow. Over the past 24 hours, volcano tectonic tremor remains at average values. Popocatépetl in central Mexico producing a 20,000-foot ash plume as it explodes. Please don't pole vault the caldera. Fuego in Guatemala exploding, flight level 180. It's an 18,000-foot ash plume. Sangay, mild explosive activity continues from Sangay in Ecuador. Also Revenador exploding, flight level 150. It's a 15,000-foot ash plume. Cotopaxi, also in Ecuador, making it 3 active volcanoes in the South American nation of Ecuador. Cotopaxi mildly exploding as well. Also Sabancaya in Peru, unable to detect. It may be erupting, it may be not. Let's see what earthquakes have been happening over the past 24 hours. That's your 90-day bar graph from volcanodiscovery.com. Here is your 24 hours from USGS. Papua New Guinea had a 5.3 yesterday at 11:16 Universal Time. What else do we got? A bunch of quakes in California there. The Revilla Gigedo Islands. Never heard of it. It's off the coast of Mexico. There was a 5.3 out there. The Kuril Islands had a 5.0. That was at 17:57 yesterday. The Kermadec Islands had a 5.0. That area near the Kermadec Trench there, north of New Zealand. Earthquakes continue in California, none of a large magnitude. There was a 5.1 in Chile. That was at 2:47 this morning on December 22nd. That Chile quake. The quake made in Chile. Also, the Southwest Indian Ridge had a 5.1. Let's get back to space. By the way, we're spaced out on the homepage. And welcome to the Neo Renaissance. It's basically a link library. You can find all of our social media and more, like our Redbubble shop, the Smash Team site, the Smash Forum, also linkable on the homepage. Congratulations on realizing the channel exists. Help us out with clicks on our links. You can also find a link to SureMed there, Hemp Lucid, the YouTube channel, Twitter, and lots more. And here is some more composite imagery. We'll be bringing you almost entirely composite imagery today. This is ionized carbon at 1,600 angstroms and ionized iron at 171 angstroms. A bright, golden, shiny sun. Next, we'll look at sort of a zoomed-in view of a coronagraph here. There is a coronal mass ejection propagating as we make the video down here in the southwestern limb. Is it likely to be earthly directed? We'll let you know toward the end of the video. The 10.7 centimeter radial flux has dipped. It's down at 139 solar flux units. There it is in context. It's now way down here. Sunspot number has also decreased with a bunch of setting sunspots in the west. The rising sunspots in the east have not equaled out that many sunspots. Here's your NOAA forecast. NOAA not forecasting any space weather storms, no geomagnetic unrest, etc. for the coming 3 days. It will be a new moon on Christmas Eve, by the way, a dark night for Santa. And let's take a look at Earth's last 4 hours of geomagnetic moment from space. That is our 4 hours of space weather modeling framework, our geospace magnetosphere movie depicting magnetohydrodynamic pressure. The units are nanopascals. And since it conveniently refreshed for us, let's let that play all the way through. By the way, things are geomagnetically rather calm at the moment. Never really saw any significant signal from a coronal hole high-speed stream, at least not yet. Here's the last 4 hours of Earth's magnetic moment from the ground. The units here are nanotesla, which is magnetic flux density. And if you've got auroral imagery you'd like us to share or that you've found on the internet, share it with us on Twitter. That is the best place to share things like that. Or drop us a line on Discord. There's a permanent link to the Discord chat on the homepage at smashomash.com. The KP index currently at 1.67. Again, like I said, geomagnetically calm conditions. And let's look at the real-time solar wind, which is lacking a signal for a coronal hole high-speed stream impact. At the moment, we've got solar wind density around 8 protons per cubic centimeter, solar wind speed 385 kilometers per second. Pretty unremarkable there over the past 24 hours. There are your GOES magnetometers. Nothing to write home about there either. And let's take a look at the heliospheric current sheet. The top view ecliptic plane field plot is one of the best ways to forecast solar activity, at least rising solar activity in the east. At the moment, Earth lies in a North Pole current sheet. Nothing to write home about there. No changes expected soon there. I don't see any indication of a lot changing. North Pole current sheet depicted here in green, South Pole current sheet depicted in red. Here's our line of sight field plot, solar B field depicted here in blue. And let's move to coronal holes and the evil that lurks within them. Just kidding, folks. There's no evil that lurks within coronal holes. It's just high-speed streams of solar plasma. At the moment, we've got lots of North Pole-oriented coronal holes rotating here in the east. Let's take a look at those from the perspective of SDO. This is another composite. That is 193 plus 211 angstroms. And these are all North Pole-oriented coronal holes. The only South Pole one is this one down here, which is setting in the southwestern limb. That's the situation with coronal holes. And we'll get the sunspots here next. But first, take a moment to press like and subscribe. If you enjoy the content, tell your friends and foes about us. We've been producing the most detailed space weather videos in the known universe for pushing 6 years now. So press like, subscribe, share, etc. Leave a comment. Press the notification bell. You may actually get a notification when we put up videos, although no guarantees. The best way to figure it out is to visit our own website. Again, you can find links to the Smash team right there on the YouTube channel and lots more. You can find links to the Hemp Lucid shop as well. This is the shop all products link. Within that, you can also enter the promo code SMASHOMASH10 to save some cash on checkout. If you want to do it that way, we'd prefer if you shop with our links, but hey, you can use the promo code too. Either way, it works for us. If it's saving you cash for the products that you're already looking for, buy them through our link or using our promo code and save that way. More product reviews coming soon on those. You can find a product reviews playlist on the YouTube channel. Also, in the description, you'll find the link to the Smasho merch. There's recently been a shakeup in the top seller. Shown there, it's now Pole Vault the Caldera as opposed to the one that contains words that shall not be mentioned on a pathetically censored YouTube video. Anyway, those are the products in order of best selling. Today's featured product is being worn by me. It is the Mensa Make Earth Not Suck Again. It's up to you products. So, of course, I've got the hat. If you've noticed Earth's been sucking the past 2 years, well, we in the U.S. certainly have as well. So I'm wearing the Mensa shirt as well as the Mensa hat. Mensa. Make America not suck again. In order to make Earth not suck again, it's part of the channel's purpose. If you want to read about our mission, head to smashamash.com/forum/mission, and you can read all about our mission. There are the products, all kinds of different products available with the Mensa logo, featuring Earth and a rising sun as light is cast onto evil. We're doing our part to make Earth not suck again. What have you been up to? Thanks to all of our viewers who've picked up merch. Give Smash staff a raise by picking up some additional merch. Perhaps you could even get somebody a gift card. If it's too late to get them an actual gift, get them a gift card for Redbubble. Send them a link to our merch shop, etc. And let's move to Sunspots. So as we stated yesterday, we got another named sunspot group down here. That's 3172. There's another one about to get named up here. That'll be 3173. That's the situation with sunspots. Let's take a closer look here. Likelihood of large solar flares is certainly still there, especially, I would say especially from 3163 as it sets in the southwestern limb, and 3171 and 3169. Those are sort of the most complex groups. They've been here mostly stable over the past 24 hours. Again, there's another sunspot group to get named. I believe there is another sunspot has formed right about here where my pointer is. We'll show detailed imagery of that later. First, energetic particles. We ain't got none. The ghost proton flux here, the ghost proton flux remains flatlined. Flaring has been diminishing over the past week. A couple of C-class intensifications yesterday. And let's take a look at flaring here in some different wavelengths here, some more composites. This is 1700 angstroms plus 131. And let's replace the 1700 angstroms with 94. There you have 94 plus 131. It's the last 24 hours, and here we've replaced the 131 with 335. So that's 94 plus 335 from SDO. And those C-class flares came from this sunspot group right here. And let's blast through some more data. So this is a star chart of what's going on over Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. We've got Mars setting down there, I believe. Is that Mars? That is indeed Mars, just on the horizon. Setting over Lehigh Valley here. That's what's going on overhead where we are. This is in-the-sky.org. We are located in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, U.S., the ALSA, the allegedly United States of America. And this is where things are in the solar system. We will have a new moon for Christmas Eve. It'll be a great night for Santa to view the galaxy. This is where things are. We'll advance it 1 week as we do on the regs. And in 1 week, we will still have a crescent waxing moon. That'll be the 29th. Let's take a look at coronagraphs next. Coronal mass ejections have been pretty calm here over the past 24 hours. That's yesterday's coronagraph imagery from George Mason University. We'll also show today's. That's 88 frames from yesterday. Here are 17 more frames from today. You can see that CME propagating there in the southwest as we stream the video. And we'll show some more imagery here from Stereo A at Lagrange 5 and Soho Lasco C3 at Lagrange 1. We've paused this here at 4:53. Since we're seeing that CME propagate, let's bring this back to just before midnight here. So that's what's going on. Again, things pretty calm here in the past 24 as far as CMEs go. The likelihood of additional CMEs is very high as we've got massive filaments. We've got more filaments to name. We'll get to that here in a moment. First, a 24-hour video featuring SDO 304 angstroms plus 2 coronagraphs. And we'll actually zoom out a little bit here to give a little wider field of view there, showing the full Soho Lasco C3 in blue. Let me just go back to stereo A here for a minute. I just want to see if there's anything on the far side. Nope, things are looking pretty calm. I don't see anything earthly directed. So let's move on to filaments. We've got huge filaments, by the way. This one down here has been named. So thanks to Zach on Twitter, who has named this one. He said it should be named your mom. So it's now called the Ann C. Griffin filament. Let's hope that doesn't destroy society, because now if that filament should launch and destroy civilization, now people can say civilization was destroyed by your mom, and they'll be accurate because that's the name of the filament. We've got a name. Well, we should probably name this filament and this filament for sure. So once again, it's name that filament. So join us on Twitter to name that filament. We'll be surprised if you're able to see our tweets as the shadow bans pathetically continue on the putrid and disgusting censorship-rife platform. People idiotically believe that Elon Musk has fixed censorship, while he's publicly stated that he hasn't changed the deboosting at all. Your shadow ban continues. We've got 336 followers and over 18,000 tweets. Next, looking at the last couple of hours from the GO 16 SUVI and 304 angstroms. There's what's going on in ionized helium in the past couple of hours. Huge filamentary instability happening down here in the southwest. Again, likelihood of additional coronal mass ejections nearly 100%, because check out the filaments. There are lots of them between Earth and Sun right now. So we don't need to see solar flares to see CMEs happen. Here's the last 24 from SDO in 304 angstroms. So name those filaments. Join us over on Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter account, go create one. Go tell Elon Musk to remove the shadow bans from, everybody. Fix the hashtag system. Remove the shadow bans, a.k.a. deboosting. Let us know in the comments if you think we should purchase a blue check mark. I considered it yesterday, and I declined. But let us know what you think in the comments. This brings us to bonus features. At the moment, we don't have any satellite charging hazards. Things are calm. As far as satellites go, there is your GOES electron flux over the past 3 days, and it remains quite low here. There is the NOAA forecast model. NOAA expecting the electron flux to remain flatlined in the coming 3 days. There's the 1-year chart to put it in context. Very low levels of electron flux here in a sustained fashion. We'll also look at the F layer of the ionosphere, which is where the GOES 16 and 17 measure the electron flux. That layer of the atmosphere is located at about 300 kilometers of altitude. And as we've been showing the last solid week, extreme anomalies in the ionosphere continue over the South Pacific. The South Atlantic anomaly has left the South American continent and is now over the South Pacific Ocean. The South Atlantic anomaly needs to be renamed the South Pacific anomaly. And if you can't see it on this imagery, the anomalygram will definitely make it super obvious to you. Haven't seen anybody else even mention it on the internet, despite fear-mongering channels talking out their you-know-whats about space weather. And right there you can see the South Atlantic anomaly is no longer over South America. It's like 1,500 miles to the southwest from there. South Atlantic anomaly should be named the South Pacific anomaly, because that is where it is now located. Super obvious there on the anomalygram. That's anomaly in megahertz from a 30-day median. You can clearly see those wild swings from high to low frequency anomaly right in that location. That is the South Atlantic anomaly, now in the South Pacific. I don't know how else to say it, so I've just said it. There's the latest image, 11 o'clock Universal Time ionogram, 11 o'clock Universal Time anomalygram, and huge anomalies happening there, both of the high frequency over the central Atlantic and low frequency over Western Europe. Continuing on to the electron flux, the total electron content, rather. That's the free electrons between your GPS satellite and your handset. That GPS satellite located about 12,500 miles of altitude. There are the free electrons in that portion of the atmosphere from ground level to about 12,500 miles, which is the inner portion of the outer Van Allen belt. And here's the total electron content animation. Again, huge GPS anomalies expected to continue over North America here with these low and chaotic levels of electron flux. Nighttime GPS anomalies around the equator as well. That electron content is all over the place, folks. That is a highly anomalous total electron content forecast. That's my word. Next, continuing to the latest intensitygram and latest colorized magnetogram. Now, I thought we had another sunspot in here, but maybe not. Okay, so this group was already named. All right, so that's legit. Anyway, that's the current situation. Whoops. That's the current situation. And we do indeed see a new sunspot rising. So there you go. We can already see an umbra, so we will have a new named sunspot up there. That'll be 3173, is it? This one might get named also. This might be a third sunspot here, trailing 3169. So we'll see there. A couple new named sunspot groups are expected. Certainly this one in the northeast is likely to remain a sunspot and get a name today. If you're sick of not seeing notifications on YouTube because the junkware platform barely functions on its best day and doesn't function at all on other days, check our content by heading to smashamash.com/smashteam. You don't even have to be logged in to see many of our posts. You just click posts and you'll find the posts that are not specifically for bronze, silver, or gold level Smash Team members. If you want to support the channel, become a member of the Smash Team at the gold or silver level. And if you want email alerts, join at the bronze level and sign up for email alerts. We send those to gold, silver, and bronze level Smash Team members. You can also find links to SureMed, which, by the way, is not insurance. It's an association membership that affords you all sorts of discount benefits, also access to different types of group insurance benefits. So check those out if you're trying to improve your health. So is the American Better Health Organization. And let's switch to meteorology. So here's a meteorology segment. We're looking at the current situation of temperature over the U.S. as over half of the country is seeing exceedingly cold temperatures. And let's advance this a couple of days here at 8-hour intervals. So there's 2100 Universal Time today as cold air pushes down from Canada all the way into Mexico and into the Gulf of Mexico, even Cuba. Going to see some cold temperatures here. There's 1300 Universal Time on the 23rd. There's 2100 on the 23rd as it gets very cold around the Gulf Coast and well into Mexico. There is Christmas Eve at 1300 Universal Time, Christmas Eve at 2100 as Florida begins to freeze. There's Christmas at 5 o'clock Universal Time, and the cold retracts a little bit there on Christmas and then redescends at nighttime. Anyway, that's the little temperature forecast there. I didn't know if you're aware or not that you can do forecasts on Null School. Nullschool.net's Earth Wind Map. It's splentacular. We highly recommend it. And let's move to the normally scheduled meteorology segment. This strong low just hanging out in the southern Indian Ocean here. It's looking quite concentrated there and creating some high seas undoubtedly in the southern Indian Ocean. Not a lot of folks sailing around that area though. Here are the jet streams of the eastern world. Powerful upper level jet stream signal there around that low. Here are the jet streams of the western world. Huge, weird, upper level, low pressure ridge here happening, stretching from the tip of Baja California out into the Pacific Ocean and then up into Texas. Some strange bends there taking place in the jet stream over the U.S. Here are the surface winds. You can see that north to southeast wind happening there. Here are the surface winds of the central world. And these are the jet streams. And let's show some forecasts here first. It's actually the darkest day of the year today. I know the solstice was yesterday, but it was past noon, which makes it slightly darker day today. So there is the slanted sunrise for the first full day of winter for the Northern Hemisphere. Don't worry, folks, the sun will be getting higher and higher in the sky until the summer solstice. Continuing on to our weather.gov map, if your county's lit, click your county. We've got weather warnings over most of the country here. We'll scroll down to show you the key. And if your county's lit or your waterway, click your county or waterway on the weather.gov map. Lots of purple on the map there. Those are hard freeze and storm warnings, depending on where you're located. Hard freeze warnings there along the Gulf Coast. Blizzard warnings in orange. Winter storm warnings in pink. Lots of areas lit up for wind chill as well. Weather.gov is your map. So since cold is the story, here is the temperature anomaly forecast based on the GFS model. This shows temperature anomaly in degrees Celsius. And you'll see over half the country there in quite anomalously cold temperatures indeed. Some anomalously warm temperatures showing up there in Montana toward the end of that run. That is your first Christmas forecast by the channel for the year. We'll have some anomalously warm weather just preceding that cold weather event in the Northeast. Here is your accumulated positive snow depth change in inches based on that same model, the GFS 72-hour forecast. The heaviest snow there for the Upper Peninsula there, south of Lake Superior. Expecting about 2 feet of snow there in some areas. Also some 2-foot snow areas expected in Washington. Once again, that's your GFS 72-hour total accumulated positive snow depth change forecast. And here is your pressure and precipitation forecast. Some heavy icing forecasted there for Washington and Oregon especially. Some heavy, heavy icing. Lengthy periods of pink showing up there on the map. Don't drive in freezing rain unless you've got studded tires. It will make for bad times. 72-hour pressure and precipitation forecast is what it is. And let's move on to windy.com. We're going to show the snow accumulation map here. Let's bring it down a little bit here. So this is the European forecast for snow accumulation. That's the next 12 hours. Here is the next 24 hours. And there is the next 3 days. It's going to be a snowy 3 days over especially the northern half of the U.S. From Tennessee north, it's going to be pretty snowy. Next, our NASA Goes Lightning Mapper. That's what's been happening in the last about 12 hours. 10, 12 hours, something like that. Some moderate lightning there in South Carolina. Do we have any terrestrial strikes at the moment? It looks like things have calmed down. If you want to access a real-time lightning map yourself, next time you hear thunder, check out lightningmaps.org. It's good stuff. We've got low levels of lightning here, apparently on a global basis. And one errant strike came in there in Africa, just as we made the video. There's thunder rolling in. Right there. And we had some terrestrial strikes. We had some strikes in the Gulf as well there. So some little bit of lightning happening there in the Gulf of Mexico. Here's your U.S. Doppler radar map. Some precipitation there showing up at southern Alaska. Once again, we're going to focus on the lower 48 as snow falls on both sides of the Mississippi Valley. Here's what's going on in terms of clouds and fog. Lots of low clouds here over the Atlantic seaboard as well as the Gulf of Mexico. You can see those low clouds there, very visible on the 3.9 nanometer radiation map. There is water vapor. That should help clear things up. You've got this dry mass of air right here acting as a blocking mechanism. It's helping to direct this system to the east. It's like a wall of high-pressure air there because atmospheric nitrogen is more massive than atmospheric water vapor. Anyway, here's your recap to close things out. See that cold air making its way down beyond Oklahoma City where it is currently snowing. Here is clouds and fog, 3.9 nanometer infrared radiation map. And there is the water vapor over Croissant Earth. In 2018, a crack YouTube unit was sent to social media prison for a crime we didn't commit. We promptly escaped the maximum security social media stockade of the internet underground where we survive as producers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find the content, maybe you can hire the Smash team. No, you certainly can. Just head to smashomash.com. Help out the channel with clicks, with shares, with comments, etc. Thanks to everybody once again who has. I've been your host, Dan, a.k.a. Smash-O-Mash, signing off from the Smash News Network. These busted name of news. I made that solar wind be at your back. Facts stated in this video are not necessarily facts that are supported by big tech, and opinions expressed in this video are not necessarily the opinions of Smash News Network. These busted name and news.